This presentation of the Savage Nation is brought to you by Inheritance Funding Company.
These guys are so hilarious. I almost drive off the road.
Armstrong and Getty. Weekday morning, 6 to 10. Talk 910 KNEW.
Warning. The Michael Savage Show contains adult language, adult content, psychological nudity. Listener discretion is advised.
America's most exciting radio talk show, The Savage Nation. Here is Michael Savage.
It is Rock and Roll Friday on the Savage Nation.
From the start, you're the girl I'm thinking of. Oh, can't you
Up with the cleft tones before we get into the deaf tones, called Washington, D.C., the deaf ones. The deaf, dumb, and blind leaders of the Western world, leading this great nation over the abyss. With the apologist-in-chief, Barack Hussein Obama, for the whole world to finally see an immature college professor ogling a 16-year-old's behind. 1-800-449-8255 is the phone number from anywhere in the United States of America. That's 800-449-8255. If you care to go online and not call me, it's michaelsavage.com. Quite a week of news when you think about it. When you look back upon this week and you look at what went on from the time Obama was giving away 1/3 of America's nuclear arsenal, agreeing to dismantle it, that is, while you were worshiping a pill popper's gold coffin. Now, I called him the king of pill popping on Tuesday. The New York Post stole that and just published that this afternoon. They finally got around to putting it in the right context. They smelled that the wind was blowing finally against Michael Jackson. They finally had the courage to say the right thing. My hat's off to the New York Post. But the fact of the matter is, that's how Obama gets away with it, because of the government media complex. They keep you blinded, and he does exactly what the far left expects him to do. I don't have a specific question for you on the Savage Nation, but it is Open Mic to Mike Friday. The phone number again is 800-449-8255. Any topic is fair game. I'd like to open with a comment rather than a question. I was out on a boat today with a few men, new friends, one of whom, it turns out, is a big fan of the show. Let me back up a bit. When people don't know who I am, and I don't tell them who my name is, and I'm in a group, if I talk quietly, they don't know me. But the minute I raise my voice and they hear the command voice, they say, "Do you know Michael Savage?" And I say, "Well, yeah, I am him." Either they love me or they say, "Wow, whatever." So one of the gentlemen says he loves the show, keep it up, etc. Another man on the boat said to me, he didn't know the show, and he said to me, "Are you politically conservative or politically liberal?" I said, I tend to be very conservative politically, but on some issues, I have no specific political orientation. I said, you see, Captain, if you fix your course and lock it in and set it in either the left or the right direction, you're going to crash into another boat or into a piling or into a landmass. You can't fix your boat in one course and not expect to crash. It's the same politically. You can't get locked into an orthodoxy and say, I'm a conservative. No matter what the issue is, I'm a conservative. Or no matter what the issue is, I'm a far left person. Because inevitably, you're going to wind up crashing into something. And so, therefore, sure, generally, I'm very conservative politically. But on certain issues, I wouldn't define myself in any such manner. In fact, on certain issues, you could define me in the exact opposite manner. For example, when it comes to animals and animal rights. How would you define me? A conservative? Doesn't matter how you define me. I believe that most animals are innocent, especially the animals that are left alone, and that if they're tortured by humans, the humans should be tortured. So that leads to the first story. the running of the bulls in Pamplona. I have hated this from the day I first saw it. Torturing animals. I hate bullfighting. I think people who do it are cowards. And I know that the Spanish culture elevates it with the swords and the picadors, the matadors, the hatadors, the latadors. You know what? Screw them all. They're a bunch of cowards as far as I'm concerned. And I looked into the history of bullfighting, which is a barbaric, horrendous sport that should be banned worldwide, in my opinion. And you know what? I discovered exactly what I thought. Because I am a student of history, I was able to intuit that this barbaric sport had been introduced to Spain by the Muslims during the invasion. You didn't know this. That is correct. I believe in the 8th or 9th century or somewhere thereabouts, the Muslims who had invaded Europe brought with them their fine sport of torturing bulls in a ring. And, of course, the Spanish, after having been conquered, dropped some of the invaders' cultural, let us say, proclivities, but not others. And so, as I say, if you want to talk about that, go ahead. You can call me or not call me. But I actually think it's a reasonable topic, which is, should bullfighting be banned? And I'd like to discuss that. There's another topic, which is Barack Obama ogling a 16-year-old girl's behind. Now, it's all over the Internet. Drudge got the first picture up last night. My hat's off to him. My folks found out who she was, that she's a 16-year-old Brazilian aide. We don't know exactly how she aids the politicians, but we know that politicians in Brazil are not constrained by the same politically correct reins that our politicians are constrained by. And what passes for normal behavior in Brazil would put a politician in jail here. But putting that aside, famous picture, the world's buzzing about it, Obama staring at a 16-year-old girl's behind at an international summit. What happens today is expected. The vermin in the media, the left-wing liars on ABC's Goodbye America, tries to defend Obama from the obvious allegations he was staring at a young girl's behind at the G8 summit. You've never heard such lies in your life. Listen to...
There is a photo. It's at the G8 summit. It's causing quite a buzz. Take a look at it. Appears to show President Obama.
Reason we're not hearing the sound.
Video. Seems to be a little different story. Obama may be watching his footing, maybe looking at the steps, maybe letting her pass, as opposed to a checkout. Take a look.
Yeah.
Let me let her go. I hope I don't fall down these stairs. Sarkozy, not so clear. Not so clear.
Sure is so deceiving when you look at it. But don't you love that the French can just go like this if they want to?
Not to stereotype, but ooh la la.
Yeah.
Is your inheritance stuck in probate? Inheritance Funding Company can advance you the cash you need in as little as 72 hours. Go to inheritancefunding.com or call 877-YOU-AIR. That's 877-YOU-HEIR.
Fresh and original every day. Live and real. On the air, online, on demand. Armstrong and Getty. Weekday morning 6 to 10. Talk 910 KNEW. Talk 910 KNEW.
It is the Savage Nation, the Friday edition. We're having very slight technical problems. Please bear with us if the sound quality that you're receiving is slightly under par. We're going to get that back up if we can in a very short period of time. The MPLS is out. We're on a Telos backup system for those of you who understand technology. And yesterday we had the same thing as the result of some storms. Before the break, I was talking about bullfighting being a barbaric sport, and I said it should be banned. Not so much because I care about the people who torture the animals and get injured from time to time, but because the animals do not deserve to be tortured, in my opinion. And I'd like your opinion on that if you wish. The phone number being 1-800-449-8255. In Florida, Tony, you're the first up. Go ahead, please.
Hey, Michael, I just want to comment. I agree with you 100% regarding the bullfighting. And you know, and I got to be honest, every year that this goes on, I secretly hope that at least one of these idiots in the streets is killed. And I got to say, I smiled when I saw this. It's a good payback.
Well, it was the first time anyone's been mortally wounded in over 20 years, I believe. It's not every year that it happens. So they get injured, the morons who get drunk and think that they're Ernest Hemingway. But the actual, ending like this, Pamplona's San Fermin Festival with a death, is not that often. It's not the people I care about in this case. It's the animals, And by the way, this was one of the smallish bulls. He was just over a ton. His name was Cappuccino, right? But the fact of the matter is, you've got mobs of insane people torturing these thundering beasts. And what happened here is one of the bulls strayed from the pack, got spooked, and charged at anything that moved. And this was the first fatality in 15 years because the rogue bull gored a young Spaniard in the neck. And the victim was killed almost instantly as he scurried for cover under a wooden barrier, sliding under his feet first. So there it is. There he is. They say had he dived headfirst